Welcome back to the D4 channel, and today we are spoiler reviewing the 6 episodes of Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. First of all, before I even say anything, Dave Filoni's Star Wars animation. Oh my god, I missed you so
I did too.
much. Like, oh my god.
It was like drinking straight from the fountain of youth.
I
felt like I went back.
Like, to visit that whole thing again. Oh my god. Again, guys, if you haven't seen episodes 1 through 6 of Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, either you didn't have time to catch up or you saw it and you're like, I will skip this because skip this.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
What are you're not a real Star Wars fan. I'm sorry. I'm going to gatekeep right now.
Fake.
You're a fake fan.
You are fake.
If you do, and like people come in here, you're bringing negativity to Star Wars. Well, you know what? Bring on the war, all right? If you don't watch the Clone Wars, Rebels, or Tales of the Jedi, me right now on the D4 channel with my partner Daniel Editor, we are both looking at you, and we're saying you are not a Star Wars fan. With that being said, if you like this video, you like our channel, like and subscribe. If you hate us, like and subscribe, because I know y'all like to do that. Y'all like to follow people you hate. So if you hate me right now for saying
if you're a hater, you're a real one.
If you're a hater, you're a real one. So follow us. But let's get into this D4. Oh my! Let's do it in sections. We're gonna talk about.
Oh god, that's gonna be fun.
Let's do all of Dooku's first, and then we'll do Ahsoka's.
Fair.
So this show's premise is basically. They could have chose any Jedi. They chose these two for the first 6, Ahsoka,
which was lovely.
And it was so lovely.
Especially for Dooku, because we've seen a lot of Ahsoka, but I mean, I still love seeing Ahsoka. Like, no complaints. Oh my god.
Right. And for someone like me, a canon junkie, who I read everything, I kind of know like Dooku stuff, because they literally have a book called Dooku Jedi Lost, which I'll eventually get to that in one of my Star Wars reading book clubs.
Which you should
follow me on my Twitch, because we do stuff there. But for people like my friend Daniel here, who doesn't necessarily have the time to read all the books like I do, or who is not a canon junkie, these 3 episodes about Dooku were so great, because it did a really good job of fleshing out why he got disillusioned with the Jedi and why he becomes the Dooku we know.
Yeah, I'm like, and I don't even have to read books.
Yes. So I was watching the episode, and in my mind I'm like, damn, I read all the books already, and I kind of already.
I mean, doesn't that make it better when you know?
Honestly, it does. It does.
It makes it better.
It does, because the books, because these episodes aren't long for people who are watching. They're about like 10 to 15.
But it feels like 30 minutes, honestly, because it's so good.
The pacing on that just shows, because I know everyone complains. I remember people were complaining about Obi-Wan and how like some of the episodes are 30 minutes. Why can't it be an hour? If you do the show right, the pacing makes the show. Because so
I was
good.
like, oh my god, it felt so jam-packed, but at the same time it felt like that's it.
Yeah, like because it's so good, you want more, but it's like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, it just made me crave the Clone Wars all over again.
Yes, and
Rebels, of course.
Oh my, listen, Rebels, Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi.
We're shouting out Rebels once again.
We have to be the biggest fans of Rebels in Star Wars fandom on the internet. I don't hear anybody talk about Rebels.
We just say it multiple times because we know you're gonna watch Clone Wars, but you ain't watching Rebels.
Please, watch Rebels. It's so good. Rebel shout out Kanan was in one episode, but we'll get to that.
Yes, yeah.
So the Dooku one is good to see, because if I remember correct, yeah. So the first one is with him and young Qui-Gon, and they go to this planet that's
no beard,
clean shaven Dooku and Qui-Gon, and my god, he looked great. The animation looked great. The planet was depressing.
Oh yeah. Just like the future.
Also, a lot of references about greedy freaking politicians that resonates so good with the things that goes on in this real world, because that planet is devastated by this Saren that is just fat and greedy. He doesn't give a damn about his people. And a great line that one of the people says, like, he started off good, but then as he became a Saren down the road, he became a dick, and his planet was desolated.
That's not what happens with most rich people, honestly.
Yeah, like they start off with good intentions, and they're like,
we've seen some pretty crazy rich people recently, haven't we?
Elon Musk.
Oh, anyways.
Well, we're not talking about them, but Dooku. I love Dooku's reaction of like, cause Dooku in his core, in his soul, he just wants peace and order. That's all he wants. He wants people to.
That's how it always starts, doesn't it?
That's how it always starts. And when the senator comes in, he stands with the people of the planet, which I forget the line he said, but I think the senator said, "You basically work for us. You're a Jedi," and then he's like, "I work for the citizens of the Republic," and I'm like, that is what the Jedi are.
That's what it always means. Why the bad guys always gotta say, "Well, future bad guys." You know what I mean?
Yes, like the core of the Jedi. Again, if you're not following me on Twitch, or if you're not reading the High Republic for that matter, read the High Republic. They're very good books. But the High Republic is about 200 years, give or take, before all of these events happen. And back then, the Jedi are very loose with their rules, so to say. Like you could
Say la vie.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Right. I think you could do it. You could basically do what you want. Like there's a bunch of Jedis in those books, particularly one, the Elzar Man. He smashes. He smashes.
I mean, you're allowed to smash, just don't get connected.
You
know?
are
Don't get connected.
That's very true. In Dooku, no, not Dooku. There's a character in the books. He appears in the Count Dooku book and the Obi-Wan book. His name is Ra Averross. I'm trying to remember if I think he's Dooku's friend. He's one of Dooku's old time friends, and he's one of Jedi that he literally said the line that you said. Like the Jedi have no rules against smashing. It's just that we can't get attached, which is why they say don't
attachment.
smash. Yeah, so you can smash, you can get cheeks all you want in Star Wars as long as you don't say.
Get those booty butt cheeks.
I like Anakin did.
Anakin did. You know?
He went a little too far for the booty butt cheeks.
But it was worth it.
It was very worth it.
It was very worth it. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Anakin and Padme. Hold on. I was gonna skip the Padme, but that's for the Ahsoka one. So I'm trying to stay on track because this show is so good. My mind is like
so much stuff. I kind of just don't even want to say some stuff because I just want you guys to watch it. Honestly.
Like honestly, I can't say this. Don't watch this spoiler review. Just watch the show and just enjoy it and just sit with it.
We're not really covering everything because it's just so good. We actually want you to watch it yourself.
Yes,
but we're gonna still have some spoilers in it.
So in case you do end up watching this video, like I'm sorry, but there's spoilers in this.
Yeah.
But Dooku takes out the senator, and like how like he's seen the people get shot while that senator's mowing his own people. By the way.
Yeah, I was like, bro, come on.
Yeah, I'm like, dude.
Think about it.
I love what you mentioned when they go in the speed. It's like I just killed like 2 people today. I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, thanks, yeah. I'm like, well, these people just killed 2 of your, like, I'm sure you guys were friends or something.
Like, for real. Like,
I'm sure they had family.
You went to school with one of them or something.
But they were like, okay, bye, we'll make negotiations and let's start right away, which it started pretty quick. They already started fixing the town real quick.
Which I love that. That's the only part of the show where the pacing went really quick, but they're shorts.
Yeah,
pretty much
can you blame me? It's like 10 freaking minutes, but amazing 10 minutes,
bro,
that's for sure.
When he's choking the senator and he pushes Qui-Gon away and he's like, people like you are the reason why the galaxy sucks, and then Qui-Gon's like, no, master, like you gotta chill.
I was expecting a turn later, but I was like, wow, the turn was a lot
quicker
than I thought.
Like, yeah, and he's still with the Jedi, but you can see how his mind, like, even when he walks on the planet, like, his face is just like, another disaster.
Here we go again.
Bro. Like, he's like, we could do more, and I'm like, yes, you could do more, but the Jedi are like, we're too rigid in our rules, and we
gotta follow the rules.
I'm like, oh, rules. And speaking about the rules, in the next episode with Windu's all about the rules.
But he looks clean.
Oh my God, Windu looks so good in this, and to see them, because again, like if you're like me, you read everything, legends or canon, you know that Dooku and Windu were pretty much friends and had a rapport. So it's so nice to see them actually like have a normal conversation.
Wow,
just talk.
Seeing enemies not be enemies.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my God,
it's so nice.
It's so nice. And
when they're just enemies, it's just like this one-dimensional thing. But when you've seen the past and how they were like actually friends, it's like, oh, this feels a lot more deep.
It's so good, and I don't think. Remind me if I'm wrong. They don't really fight in the Clone Wars. I don't think in the animation. I don't think Windu and Dooku.
I don't remember. Maybe they did. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I'm trying. Nah, I don't know. I don't think they did.
I think if they did, I think you would have remembered.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So again, in Legends, the only people that were able to best Dooku in a duel, like straight up, was Windu and Yoda.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to see them like investigating this murder of a Jedi on this planet.
And the minute they said, we're like, yeah, we already know. I mean, it was obvious, but you know,
it was like I was like, yeah, you guys know you guys are gonna go a little too far. You guys are gonna
people died.
You made a comment too when watching this show. You're like, what did you say? He's like, oh, they're really not holding back on the violence anymore, huh?
Oh yeah, literally just straight up swinging and shooting. They just pow and swing. I mean, they always show the swinging, but never the body just on the freaking
just
ground.
lying there. Like I can remember when we used to watch the Clone Wars. I used to tell them, don't worry, this is for children. And then around like season 4, I said, okay, it's not for children anymore.
Children, episode 3, children, episodes in the Clone Wars, children.
Yeah, no, like this, and I love how they did that. They're like the people who watch the Clone Wars. You all grew up. Y'all want to see some?
Yeah, thank God for that. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm not promoting violence, but you know, sometimes it makes sense.
Sometimes you gotta be a little edgy, like that.
Sometimes.
That, like, of course, make Star Wars for kids. Like, we're not saying that. Make really nice Star Wars for kids, but people like us who are more beaten down on life in real life, we like to see a little edgy stuff in there.
We're depressed, and we want to see you depressed.
We're depressed, and we want to see depression on our televisions. And
let me feel the angst.
Dooku had so much angst, like
bro. It's like, please, what are you doing?
I'm gonna kill you. And I love how Windu and him are two opposites. Windu's like, we're following this by the book, and Dooku says a great line. He's like, your devotion to the rule is inspiring and also maddening.
That is real life too.
Yes.
It's like, wow, I respect your following the rules, but chill.
Yeah, like we could kind of veer off a little bit, which I love how Qui-Gon is very much like his master, but in a less like evil, like totalitarian kind of way.
Bro was like Jedi, and he was already Force chosen. I'm like, whoa.
And I love the people of the planet, by the way. The second, I don't remember what the planet was called, but the fact that those soldiers just murked that senator when he snitched, he's like, the soldiers killed the Jedi, and he's just like, bam.
He's like, oh, yeah, and you're gone.
Just shot him, and then Dooku was like, well, if he was the dick, like, why'd you guys kill our Jedi and then leave him alive? Then like, we're gonna make him do our own agenda because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And I'm like, I love everything about this politics in this short animation series.
Love politics.
Like Andor, listen, me and her were having a discussion off camera. Like, actually, you know what? I want you to come at me because you know what? Clearly, you guys don't come when we have peace. So I want you to come at me,
comment below.
I want you to comment below. Andor, do not get me wrong, it is great television. It is also still great Star Wars television. For the people who say it's not Star Wars, I hear what you're saying. I still think it's incorrect, but I hear what you're saying.
Star Wars.
But Tales of the Jedi, I am sorry. In the 10 to 15 minutes of each episode of these shorts, it will be anything Andor will ever do.
I am so sorry. We watched like hours of Andor, but goodness gracious, just 10 minutes of these measly little episodes just had more lore, more information, more freaking heart.
Everything. Like, you felt more like, and look, Andor again. Andor is really good, but it will not touch this because Andor's missing this. Because when I watch Andor, yes, it's in a galaxy far, far away, but I'm not whisked away into a galaxy far, far away.
It's good drama, but not good fantasy.
Right, exactly. So I'm still saying they're on Earth. Like, when they're not Aldani.
Yeah, they feel like they're just on a very technological advanced
era. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, but when you watch Star Wars, you see all the Togrutas, all the aliens, the
not
animation.
Enough aliens in Andor. I'm sorry, there's not enough. Yeah, too much humans.
Yeah, unless you go to Mon Mothma's party, then she has aliens. But
they're in the background.
Like, come on, bro. But here you have all the aliens, the scenery. Like, you're an artist. Just tell me how you thought about just because it's the Clone Wars season 7, but like on another level.
It's so freaking beautiful. It's just like it brings the like enchantingness that real life can't bring.
Right.
Like just oh my god. it's just so lovely. The style of freaking the way they style the cartoons in like the Clone Wars and everything and Rebels. Well, future Rebels, because it's always in the beginning. It's not that great.
Yeah, the beginning is a little
but,
edgy.
oh my god, I love the style. It's like it has like the details of like the pores in the hair, but it's not too detailed.
Right, it's still like
And the landscape
like fantasized.
is wonderful.
Oh, it's so
Absolutely.
good. And like I love that we just see his beard grow out more and
Oh
more.
yeah. I was like, no, where's the pointy? And I was like, okay, thank goodness, that's the Dooku I know.
Yeah.
Where's the point?
Oh, the third one of Dooku hit me so hard. Now we get a few what you would call revelations of how things happen. Number one, we know what happened to Yaddle.
Rest in peace.
Because
You were kind of stupid for doing it, but I forgive you because you really thought of him as your friend. So.
the fact that they were friends like that
Yeah, so I cannot blame you. If you saw your friend doing that, you would want to try to rush as quickly as possible to like,
Yeah.
save them
Then,
from
like,
stupidity.
you tell your homie like, bro, you're doing something stupid. Please stop. I don't care what you've done. We could come back from this.
So even though what she did was stupid, it actually is very good writing because it's probably what you would do for a friend anyways.
Honestly, yeah. And if you guys don't know who we're talking about, Yaddle is the other species of Yoda's species. We see her in the Phantom Menace, like a quick shot when they show the council. You see her, and then we never see her again. And people were speculating what happened to Yaddle. I think Legends covered that one time. I think in Legends, Anakin actually set her on fire on accident. And correct me if you guys really but I think he got angry and then he used the Force and set her on fire, but it was an accident. I can't remember the details. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it was an accident. No inner rage or anything.
No
like
inner
that.
rage. I'm like, oh, well, cool. And this thing took place during the Phantom Menace, which I thought was so.
He was like literally going through the times, bro. He was literally going through them, and it just made those movies even better.
Right, like
And the Clone Wars, of course, made it even nicer.
That's what I'm saying. Like once you watch these things, I love to rewatch them, and you have so much more insight on what happened.
God,
so
yes.
so now when Obi-Wan is looking for Kamino, and Jocasta says, "It was nothing. No, it does not exist." Now,
We got to see the behind of the archives,
yeah, we got to see behind the archive. We saw how he deleted it, and
which was pretty easy.
yeah, I'm gonna assume he has a high rank, and I'm trying to remember. I think he's not technically part of the Jedi at this point. He's friendly with them, like they let him come and go when he pleases. But I think at this point in his life, he's the ruler of his planet. So I don't think he's like with the Order, but he still has his access, which was clearly a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know why you would give him.
Yeah.
That was pretty dumb. I feel like the only person who should be able to delete from the archives is literally the person who owns the archive.
Exactly. Like, unless you're the Grandmaster or Jocasta Nu, you should not be able to delete stuff from the archive.
But I guess they probably learned their lesson from that.
Yeah, they did. They're like, oh, well, maybe we had a tight number of security. So I love all of that. Like, they didn't mention Maul, but they mentioned you guys encountered a Sith Lord on Tatooine, and I'm just thinking about when Maul almost ran 9-year-old Anakin with his bike and fought him. I'm like, that is so cool.
So, they sometimes straight say it, and then sometimes you're like, oh, I see.
Yeah, like, oh, Maul's running around.
Little hint, a little taste.
It's and to know that Anakin and Obi-Wan are, like, as the animation is going, when he's talking to Qui-Gon, Anakin and Obi-Wan are somewhere just chatting or being around. They're there.
Oh my god. It feels so good to just watch that and get just some more.
I know. Oh, it's so good.
It's just like the strings connecting. So many strings.
Oh,
much strings.
They do the strings so perfectly. Like and the shorts do a good way of time jumping because it does it seamlessly. So it jumps at the end where Qui-Gon's already murdered and they're having the funeral on Naboo, and Dooku, beautiful shot where he's just standing by the tree, the one Force tree they have in the temple, and Yaddle comes and says like Qui-Gon died and everything, and like you can see how upset Dooku is. But
that was a turning point. He's like, well, there's nothing left for me.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when Ahsoka left.
Yes,
it's like that was like the big part of the chunk where Anakin was like.
Yeah, he's already disillusioned with the Jedi before, but once he saw what they did to his Padawan, he's like,
oh yeah,
that's just gonna
that
make
was like
me go
a
down.
big change. It was like the same thing.
Yeah, and oh my god, the shot when he left to that one dark place that they always meet in the Clone Wars with him and Palpatine in that abandoned place, and Yaddle following him, and I'm like, Yaddle, go and get help. Go and get help. Go and get
You
help.
Rest in peace.
Bro, she comes up, she's like, Dooku, like, please, whatever you've done. And you can see him thinking about it too. Like, he's like, it's like, maybe I can go back. And then, of course, our boy Palpatine.
Isn't it so upsetting how many times you die from your friends and loved ones?
All the time.
I realize it, even in real life. It's like the statistic with how you getting murdered is more likely a person you know.
Yep, than some
will murder
random
you
stray.
than someone who like doesn't even know you.
Right, yeah, because like when someone who doesn't know you, it's usually an accent is very rare, but it's usually like that person knew you, and for
Which is
whatever
just
reason,
insane.
it's so insane.
It's like the same thing. It's like you're in Star Wars. You're most likely to die from someone you once loved, or you once was your friend.
Bro. And it makes sense too, because Yoda, it was Dooku's main master, so like it would make sense that he would have a good connection with Yaddle, because Yaddle's the only other species that we know of besides Grogu, who's at the temple at this point, you know, as a baby, yeah. So he
baby
Yoda, and we'll get to Baby Ahsoka. I think she beats Baby Yoda by a mile. But the fighting was so good. Like how Yaddle fought. She fought more like Yoda.
Oh yeah.
But more defensive. I realized she was more defensive Jedi, and Yoda's a little more aggressive.
And
than her.
girl could like.
She's disappearing and stuff, bobbing and weaving.
Ooh.
The lighting was so good. The shots were so good. I don't care if it's animation. This is one of the best shots Star Wars.
Sometimes, like in the past, it was like, animation. I think animation always kind of beats the real life, because I feel like sometimes it can't really capture it in real life because it's more difficult.
That's kind of why George Lucas liked the Clone Wars, because George Lucas' mind is so big, and real life couldn't really capture what he had in mind.
Sometimes real life can't capture the beauty you want to put in.
So he's like, Clone Wars, like, I literally don't need, like, anybody to tell me it's an animation. I could do literally whatever I want.
Yes.
And they did whatever they want in this fight. Like, and the way they killed her, too, they didn't even cut away. Like, once we thought, like, when he slams the door on her, like, oh, she was like, she's dead.
I was like, oh, that's such a bad way to go. But I don't know what's worse, being crushed by a door or being crushed by your friends. One is more painful and the other is more emotional damage.
Yeah, I'd probably say getting sliced, because, like, the door is kind of like when you shoot someone with a gun, you're like, all right, you don't really think about it, it just happens instantaneously, but he literally pulls his saber out.
And it's the way she literally looked up. You could see her still thinking, maybe he's going to stop, maybe he's going to turn around and be like, okay, but no, he just doesn't. So I think even her final moments, she still believed.
Oh, that would make it so hard, and they didn't cut away. Like, when he slashed,
you literally see her just going,
and you see the sizzle. I'm like,
you just see her laying on the ground.
Oh, so the Dooku one. Like, now when I rewatch Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and realize everything that happened, I'm just gonna think of all these little moments that happened, and I'm like, oh, this is so good.
It hurts.
It's so good. So I'm giving Dooku 10 out of 10.
Yeah, oh my god. I am so glad, because I never read any of the books, so I was so glad to finally get some back into the story of like Dooku.
I'm so glad I was able to watch this with you too, because like
it was so much better than I thought.
And she gave me a good idea. It's Star Wars related, so it'll be on this channel. So I'm gonna make my personal timeline, like how I view Star Wars, like how you should watch it and everything, because I know that's been a hot debate since 1977. So I'll give you guys my opinion. That's gonna be a very long video. I'm actually gonna have to like write it down and make sure.
And you could probably post the document too, so that anyone could just easily access it.
Right. Okay. So can I do that on the YouTube or something?
Yeah, like just put like I think you could put a document and then just like make sure that no one can edit it except for you.
Okay,
so people can like review it, so it's like an easy way to just look through it.
Okay, because I'm gonna do that, because that's a really good idea. Like the way,
and maybe you can make a checklist so they can like checkbox it. If you guys want that, comment saying if you want that.
Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Dooku was a 10 out of 10. Like, I love the backstory. When they were gonna get Palpatine live action again, so it's good to see our boy in the animation.
I know, we actually saw him in the flesh. I mean, animated flesh.
Yeah, and
that's good enough for me.
She made a really good point. We get a somewhat semi-Dooku backstory. Give us Palpatine.
Oh my god, please. I know you guys are so messed up, you're gonna worry, but Lucasfilm, please. Every fan wants it. Please.
Like,
and I'm talking about the fake fans that hate Star Wars.
Yeah.
Talking about the real ones.
We're talking about the real ones who like Clone
Please.
Wars. And if you're afraid of messing it up, just get Dave Filoni. He won't
Yeah,
mess
Dave
it up.
Filoni, we love you. We actually love you,
We
bro.
actually
we
like
love you.
you. Like George. This is I would not put it against him. George Lucas was like, I probably know I'm gonna sell it to, and I quote, this is what George Lucas said, the white slavers called Disney. But he made a contingency plan. He's like, I will be gone, but I'm gonna raise an apprentice that's gonna be just like me, and he gonna be right in
when
the mix.
Dave Filoni moves on, I don't. That's the end. I'm sorry.
Honestly-
Unless he gets another prodigy like himself.
Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, like I will always like anything Star Wars because it's Star Wars. But when and if Dave Filoni leaves, and hopefully it won't be until I'm dead.
Dave
I think
Filoni,
Star Wars will be
please
dead.
live a long and healthy life, please.
Or do us a
Please.
favor and start training your prodigy right now. So when you feel like you need to retire, we got another Dave Filoni in the wings. Please do one of those two things.
Because we don't want you doing it when you're tired, man.
Yeah, we don't want you to do it when you're tired. Because when you do tired things, it doesn't come out.
You're
very
my
good.
inspiration for story making. You are.
He's so freaking
God,
good.
imagine getting to meet him in real life.
I think I'll actually geek out. I'll geek out as hard as
We're
I
literally
read Obi-Wan.
geeking out. You know, this is a casual podcast. That's what
Yeah.
we're here. It's like a homie type of podcast,
Yeah, it's
so
like
don't worry
if you want
about
that
it.
really deep stuff, you can go somewhere else. But if you made it this far, you're a real homie, and you're
We
most
love
likely.
you.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you. And if you're one of those people who are just watching this so you can see what we say, so you can hear on it, we love you too, because we will fight you in the comments if you put a comment. Also, like and subscribe, please. You'll see all the videos you hate.
Please.
But let's go to the Ahsoka episode.
Ahsoka.
No.
Baby!
I didn't think. Actually, no. Hold on. Talk to the eyes. Let me bring my Grogu here. He's trying to get
Oh my god, she's the cutest with her little feet.
Now, no offense to this guy. Look at him. Look at him.
Baby.
He's adorable. Don't get me wrong. But I think Baby Ahsoka beats him.
Absolutely. I mean, we're humans, so we probably, when we look at humans, we're like, baby.
Yeah, to her cheeks and like,
Oh my god, the animation with her little feet.
her little feet things.
And her mom is pretty.
Oh my-
Which makes sense because Ahsoka is pretty.
Ahsoka's very pretty. Also, you know who voices her? Her mom.
Who?
It's the voice of Ian Versio, the character you play in Star Wars Battlefront 2. She's the voice of Ahsoka's mom.
Wow.
Yeah, Janina Gavankar. Love her. She was in a vampire TV show. I can't remember the name of the TV show. Forgive me. With our boy Darth Maul, who Sam Witwer. They were in a show together. They're beautiful people. Beyond Being Human, I believe Being Human, I believe the show is called. But she's great. I love her. She was the voice of Ahsoka's mom. Her mom is beautiful.
Absolutely.
The village is beautiful. The Togruta look great.
Oh my god. Made up language? Beautiful.
Beautiful. The old lady, see all the little wrinkles on her
Oh my
face.
god. The detail, man. God, the animation is so beautiful.
It's so good.
So
Like-
good. I don't care. If you say you don't like cartoons because it's too childish, please stop. Throw that mentality. You're growing old because of that.
Right, yeah, like animation is just another form of storytelling, and it doesn't matter what it is. In fact, most people don't know this. I went to film school. Animation were the first movies, period. When Disney, they were making, I forgot the technology to make like it's really high when you flip the paper and animation happens.
yeah, I know.
Those animations for like maybe a decade almost were the
I think it was
only
like
movies.
Onion Skin or something.
Yeah, like those were the only movies that existed. There was no such thing as live action. Movies were animation.
No, that was the original children and adult entertainment.
Yes, and oh, it's so good. Like just to see, and for a 1-year-old baby, this baby
Oh my
is so
gosh,
sentient.
she's literally probably the best prodigy in Star Wars.
Yes.
I can't think of anyone who at 1 years old could tame a freaking tiger thing. I don't know what it is. Like tiger.
I've read many Star Wars. I've seen many gifted young
mean,
children.
If
Like
we're wrong, you could say in the comments. But from our knowledge, I don't think so.
yeah, because all the babies we've seen the babies before in the Clone Wars, that arc when Palpatine was trying to kidnap children. And, normal senator stuff. And some of them are floating little balls and stuff, like little things to show that they're connected to the Force.
Yeah, but they were all like baby. She's literally like looking. She knows where to look.
Right,
She knows what that gun does.
Right.
And then when the animal was dying, which her mom for some reason wasn't killing instantly, she was
Right.
like, "Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Kill the animal."
literally, and like she's not afraid or cries at all in this episode, except for when the animal's dying, because she could feel the suffering of the animal, and she's
It's like, put it out its misery.
yeah, I'm like, no, and like that's like, first of all, to take a 1-year-old baby on a hunt. Respect all cultures, but that's crazy.
I think in some cultures maybe they do that.
I think they do that in some real life culture. I know the Vikings used to do that. Like they'll take their young.
Yeah, literally just take their freaking children to war. First-hand experience.
I'm like, that's great, but I don't know if we should do this for the health of the baby. But based on how she turns out, she becomes psychologically.
It was worth it because they learned.
They did learn, and the lion too. I don't know what to call the creature. I call it a lion bear. It's giant.
Tiger lion thingy.
It first of all, it looks so menacing and great. I love the design.
Beautiful.
Oh, and I love how the I'm just gonna call it a tiger. The tiger takes her and like it's hungry and clearly. Because her brother mentioned this, but I was so in tune with everything that's happening. He said the tiger already had scars and stuff, so clearly he's been fighting these people for a minute.
Yes.
And so he doesn't like any of these Segrutans. And they're not bad people. It's just that in the nature of life and the Force, you have to kill to feed your people. Like, it's just nature of nature. Like, that's what
it. Just need to eat, man.
Just need to eat. And the tiger puts her down, and she's not even terrified. Most people be crying their eyes out.
And just like one of the most beautifully just drawn freaking scenes ever when she was doing this. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Artists, please make freaking your renditions of it. Please make some wallpapers of it. It is so nice.
Please, it's so good. Like the tiger is trying to see if she's scared, and she just looks at him with a baby eye, and then he goes in close, about to eat her, and she connects with him through the living Force to calm him or make sure that she's not threatened.
1 year old.
She's doing that, and the tiger's like, I bet I ain't gonna eat you today. I'm not gonna eat you. And I'm like,
and then she just comes back in the most majestic, epic way, like she's a freaking queen, which she is. She's a queen.
She's a freaking queen. She rises to the thing
on this tiger.
A baby.
Like,
and everybody's like,
oh. Jedi.
She's a Jedi. I'm like, oh, no, duh. You think a regular kid doing that?
Oh, really?
And even the tiger's like, respect. And
it's like, thanks for birthing that one.
Yeah, he's like, I like that one. I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
All right, see you later.
And he dips. Like, it's so good.
I was like, oh my god.
Ahsoka top 5 character.
I mean, I already had that in my head, but just seeing her in childhood, I'm like, it makes sense. Yeah. It's so clear why.
Bro, and I was one of those people that hated her.
I think most people were pretty annoyed by her in the beginning.
Yeah. What you doing, Sky Guy? I'm like, oh my god. Like, are we gonna get 10 seasons of this? And I'm like,
oh, and then us, more Ahsoka, please.
Give me more
Ahsoka, please.
This made me more hyped for the live action Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. If the writing is just as good as this,
I mean, you know Dave Filoni.
I mean, Dave Filoni ain't ever gonna put his child down.
Yeah, I think he literally says, no one could write about Ahsoka unless I'm involved, and I'm like, you damn
right, damn right.
That's
if
your
it was
baby.
any other way, I would be mad.
Exactly. Like if and now we're just speculating a little bit about the Ahsoka live action series, but if Force Ghost Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, comes in, and if he says something like, "Hey Snips, I'm going to freaking lose it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to fight. I'm going to dance. I'm going to do all of these things."
Call me Yoda, because I'm at peace.
For real. We're going to die in our sleep, and then we're going to just disappear.
Peak. Every time we're like, Star Wars has peaked, they brought Tales of the Jedi, and I'm like,
they keep doing it.
Peaked again.
And
you peaked again.
Andor is great, and before this came out, it was the only Star Wars we had, so we're just enjoying it. But then Tales of the Jedi just told me, like, Andor is great, but I love my Jedi. I love my Force mythological creature. I love Star Wars.
You love what
fantasy.
makes Star Wars, and that's the fantasy of
That's
it.
the fantasy of it, and they did a great job with the first one. The second one was the training that she went through.
Yes.
First of all, I love all the little Easter eggs.
my
You see
God.
young Kanan watching. He's like, "Wow, look at her. She's great."
You'll see her again.
You see her again, buddy. Rebels. Hello.
Rebels. Oh,
Rebels. Come on, bro.
Whoa.
You'll watch all of it.
Woo.
Our boy in SuperCon also will be there. I can't remember his name. Tara Sanube.
Tara
Sanube was in there, and Obi-Wan.
And we will make sure to have the convention all recorded for you guys so you can enjoy that.
Yeah, that one will be. Cause I gotta give my other channel a little
I
credit
believe
too.
that will be on Hamtainment.
That will be on Hamtainment, so keep an eye out for that. The guy who plays Uncle Iroh, Haku, and Tara Sanube will be there, along with many other famous people
So
like
if you love
Silent Hedgehog.
geeky stuff, anime, Star Wars, anything,
Yeah.
make sure to go on Hamtainment in the future.
Right, and I'll have the link below, so there's no excuse. Just click that link, and you'll be going through
It just
there.
takes 2 buttons.
It just takes 2 buttons.
Click.
You got this. But everyone looked clean. Obi-Wan looked great.
Yes, I mean, he always looks great, but
Like, I'm not gay.
always a fine man.
But I am gay as hell for Obi-Wan. This man is
Well, I'm straight as
sexy
hell for him.
True. So that had been the thing goes for. I wanted a t-shirt. I'm straight as hell
I'm
for
straight
him.
as hell for him. He confirmed my straightness.
Please, women, make a t-shirt of that. I would love that.
He confirmed it.
She confirmed it.
But Ahsoka is so amazing. I always say I'm gay for her.
Oh my god, she's so great. Like the training with the little remote droids that she's doing, clearly when we see her at 1, she's a prodigy. Like,
And everyone's like, wow, look at her.
Anakin's like,
Okay, but have you heard of Order 66? Oh, you don't know that?
Let me.
Oh, that's a spoiler? Oh.
I got a little in the feels when he started doing that because he doesn't even know what's gonna conspire, but somewhere in his instincts probably is like, maybe not the clones, but maybe something might happen down the line where she's gonna need these to survive. And I want my apprentice, I want my little sister to be okay when this happens.
If you guys think of them in any other way than sibling, what is wrong with you?
Wait, do people not think of them as siblings?
Some people think of them romantically. Yes. I'm sorry. How?
What?
Some people ship them, and I'm
On
like,
the dark corners of the internet, or like in general?
mostly the dark corners of the internet. I have seen a few shares of it, but God, if you do not see them as a sibling dynamic, you need to get some help immediately.
Bro,
Please.
She literally says in season 7 of the Clone Wars when she's with the sisters on Coruscant, and they're like, where did you learn how to fight like that? She literally says, my big brother taught me. Like, they're like brothers and sisters. Stop it.
Yeah, please.
So,
honestly.
bro, so I love the whole training of the clones where like she feeling herself too. She's like, I just impressed all the masters. Kanan's like, wow, you saw that? And then Anakin's like, no, there's a real test. And then she gets shot in like 2 seconds.
Like, she's literally fainting every time. She's like,
And I'm like, it shows 2 things. First of all, 1, I love to see our brothers back. Shout out.
oh my God,
Shout out
I
to the
missed them
501st.
so freaking much. It's been so long since we've seen, like, the clone, just, like, casual and everything.
Yeah, like they're normal, like good people, like how we know they are with the
So long.
freaking
It's only
chips.
been, like, a year plus, right?
I think so, yeah. Because the
my
last time
God.
we actually saw our brothers actually being brothers, more than a year actually, maybe like 2 years,
Been
almost
more
a,
than
almost
a
a
freaking year.
yeah, almost a time skip.
Which I'm so happy that we'll get Bad Batch,
Bad Batch
to
again. I'm so excited.
relieve our clone.
Yes, we like our
sadness.
clone. Give us our brothers again. So to see them there, Captain Rex is there, training Ahsoka, and like he's like again, and he's like, I know this is hard, but he's like down the line, this is gonna help you. This is life and death, and they like keep again, and I'm
And then
like,
you just see her getting older and older and doing the same training.
thing.
And then the transition to when Order 66 happened, that was probably like one of the best transitions I've ever seen.
Bro, it was seamless. Like it goes from her like cause in and now I'm kind of getting the timelines because she has 3 outfits. When we see her When she first introduced, she has like the crop top with like no middle. Then in the first part is the tails. She has a shirt that's a little bit more like her season 3-4 clothes, and then she has her season 4 clothes, and then it goes into the last season. Like,
I freaking love that transition so much. It's just so art. I don't even know the word. It's just so nice. It's so good.
I love to see you say getting so emotional because you generally like you love this stuff.
I can't even describe. I'm bad with words, but you know it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and I like a little touch of it because in the first part of the training when she's getting wrecked. And then Jesse is the clone that shouted. He's like, "Sorry, sir." And Jesse's the one that when she walked out and they were trying to negotiate, Rex was trying to tell her she's not a Jedi anymore. Jesse's the one with the circle on his helmet. It's like, you're in direct violation of Order 66. He's the one that pointed. Oh my god!
Like,
do this to
God,
me.
the connections, so good.
Oh god,
Like,
this is
how
Star
does
Wars.
like little 10-minute episodes do such good lore?
I would never watch these.
The definition of when you're writing is just so good.
It's
too
good storytelling. So like every time I watch season 7 again, and right before Rex walks her out with her hand by her head, I'm just gonna be thinking that conversation like, man, I hope that train you've been doing all this time really pays off. Like,
I feel like every writer should watch everything Dave Filoni ever like freaking directed.
yes.
I feel like, and you'll become instantly a better writer.
Oh, you like when I write my films, I try to think about what would Dave Filoni do and what are the core tenets of Star Wars.
You gotta have like that person you're aspiring. Artists need to find that one artist they want to aspire. Writers gotta find that one writer they aspire for.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
that's Dave Filoni is the one you should aspire for.
He is. Oh my, my God,
I know you feel emotional because it's just so good.
Bro.
It's like I'm glad to be alive in an era where I can watch something that's like so emotionally connected.
Bro, I was like trying not to tear up when I was watching something. I'm like, oh my god, bro, like you all need to stop.
Bring
this, bro.
back the good cartoons like Teen Titans. I
Rest
feel
in-
like
rest
kids
in peace,
really
Teen
need to
Titans.
watch that stuff because it connects so good.
Bro, I'm sorry, children of the now. Like you were deprived of good
And
television.
you guys literally got Cartoon Network.
Honestly, it's kind of your fault though, guys. Like you guys don't have the patience to watch good cartoons. Like I'm rewatching Billy and Mandy and like Courage the Cowardly Dog on HBO Max. I'm like, yeah, come on, bro. Y'all don't know what good cartoons.
Well,
is.
I wouldn't classify that as good writing. I would just say, hey, that's just good entertainment.
Yeah, that's good entertainment. Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
This is good writing. So obviously, Ahsoka thing gets a 10 out of 10. Like I can't give anything.
Oh yeah, literally, Tales of Jedi. Every episode was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like every single episode, and you're probably thinking, oh no, you over exaggerating.
No, we're not.
No. Like
No.
usually we say, we're a little biased. For this episode, we're not biased. We're serious. We're
Right.
dead.
Yeah.
Serious.
Like I'm a super fan too. So like quick little story. I wanted to get her and her brother into Star Wars because I'm a person who.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love sharing things that I love. I love it, and like to see you guys love it almost as much as me.
Literally, yes.
Like you don't know how great that makes
Every
me
time
feel.
I watch a new show and finish it, it's like a piece of my heart that felt like it was missing just came like right back in, and I never knew I was missing it until I finally found what it was missing.
Yes. Oh,
I think that's the best way to describe it.
I just need to thank you, and I just need to thank your brother. Like you guys gave me the gift of sharing my love of Star Wars.
No,
and
thank you, 3000.
You're welcome. And I gotta thank the Clone Wars because, like, I'm a super fan, so I love anything and everything they could pull out except for Star Wars Resistance. I hate that show. But that's the only thing I hate. That a million things they made. So I gotta thank the Clone Wars because literally if the Clone Wars didn't exist, I don't think I would have got them in. Because as a super fan I am, unlike Twitter, when people say they don't like Star Wars, I could see where they're coming from. Because when I showed them episode 1 and 2, I was like, I love episode 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I grew up with the prequels. But I could step outside myself and be like, I could see why some people would be like, whatever.
I can definitely appreciate episode 1 and 2
And so now,
more.
because of all the
can
backstory you get,
really
right?
appreciate it more. I mean, it's just like how I appreciated, episode 3 and stuff more because the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, right? Like it feels like these, like the beautiful thing about the Clone Wars and Tales of Jedi, it just enhances what was already made. So when you
It's
watch
just
these
like,
things,
wow, finally this thing that just connects it and makes it better.
Right, and like I tell people because in kind of no time has passed in the sequel era except for 8 and 9. 8 and 9 is about a year span. They need to do what they did to the prequels. They need to make like an animation show to really make us love Rey.
They don't have really anything like that, do they?
No, because they've been avoiding it. They've been avoiding it since all the backlash from the internet. Just like they did with the prequels. And I'm like, no.
It's just funny because their whole land is just about it.
Exactly. And again, guys, you have to remember, I love it, but for people my age and a little older people, they don't like the sequel. But for those young women who saw a strong female-led character in live-action Star Wars, they grew up. That is their Star Wars. They love Rey. They love Finn. They love Kylo. They are an audience there. Make stuff for them because they will grow up and that will be the generation.
Yeah, they
that
don't have anything to grow up and look back on like, wow, this was truly amazing. It's just like, oh, well, this was always Reylo, and then we never really had, much into it.
Yeah, so like there's rumors that actually Dave Filoni and I forget the other guy's name, they're making I think a movie, rest in peace movie.
A movie.
Yeah, it's rumored. They're making a rumor that's going to be set after episode 9, so fingers crossed on that, but I doubt that's going to be a thing.
Movies are always notorious.
Yeah, like
here in the Star Wars fandom.
Oh, nope, it's not going to happen. Here's another movie. Yeah. Oh, Bob Chapek actually told Kastner, he said somebody, stop announcing movies and we never make them. Stop it. It's bad for business. I said, thank you.
But I guess they realize each time, like, what if this is going to go wrong again, like every other movie?
You can't think like that. The problem is they keep thinking they won't understand anything if we do it. Look what Marvel does. There's so many things that goes on in Marvel movies where, like, even if you're not a deep cut comic book reader, it won't fly over your head because the story in general is telling what it needs to be told. But if you read the comics, you're like, oh, that's the suit Luke wore.
We came in super late and we still enjoyed it. We literally came, like, what was it? Freaking...
Yeah, you came in late. Like, after... Like, you didn't even see the Avengers.
No.
You saw after the Avengers.
We really showed up, more than halfway through.
Yeah, and they still enjoyed the hell out of Marvel.
We still like it because if writing is good, you don't really need to be like, oh, I gotta know everything before this
exactly.
to enjoy this. Although for certain things in Star Wars, you really should follow the order.
I'm gonna follow the order. I'm sorry, but people who keep saying watch 4, 5, and 6 because they came out first. I'm sorry. All of you guys are wrong. Again, if you want to fight me in the comments, I will fight you on it. I'm sorry. By this point, everyone knows that I am your father line. Like, that's not secret anymore. Come on, we're in 2022. Really like, to watch Star Wars and really appreciate the actual general story of everything, you must watch it chronologically. Except for Tales of the Jedi. Tales of the Jedi kind of special because you have to watch Clone Wars.
Tales of the Jedi I definitely want to watch after because it's going to hit you harder afterwards than during. Because during, it's going to be like, oh, okay, cool. But afterwards, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
What happened?
Oh, well, I can't believe I forgot the last one of Ahsoka. I almost forgot because my mind's so frazzled right now.
We're like so excited. Sorry.
Yes,
I'm not sorry because
it's so good. Like for her to be at Padme's funeral.
Oh yeah, and she's literally Batman. She's Batman.
she disappears in the background. And everything. I'm like, oh, and every time I watch Padme, like, because Revenge is a very sad movie. Like now I see when the people are walking in Padme's funeral, the same shot too, by the way, of Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. I'm gonna in my mind like Ahsoka's there, paying respects to her friend. No,
it's so nice, just adding that small little change into it. Like, well, I'm just gonna go back to Order 66. That small little change where they're at the door.
Right. Oh, it makes so much a difference. Oh, like before I hated the clones, and after I lived with my brothers, I said these men are as much of a pawn on the chessboard as the Jedi were because they don't deserve any of this.
Just watching the movies like 1, 2, and 3, you're like, who cares about these clones? Whatever. There's a bunch of them, and then you watch the Clone Wars, and you're like, I love all of you.
You are good soldiers. Don't let anybody tell you screw Palpatine, even though my name is Papa She Palpatine.
Anyone who watched Star Wars and never watched Clone Wars, you didn't watch Star Wars.
You didn't.
You watched Wars.
I'm sorry.
You watch Wars.
Before I would disagree with that, but now I agree with that statement. You don't watch Star Wars if you're not a
You didn't
Clone
watch Star Wars.
So like I love Bail. Shout out to Bail Organa.
Shout out to him. He really bails people. Is that why they named him?
You know,
I just thought about it in that split second when I made that stupid pun.
That's a good question. I have no idea. That's a good pun.
Thank you.
Like he does. I love how the clones come to him and like Ahsoka's hearing him and he's talking to the clones, but he's really talking to Ahsoka. Like
yeah, and then they're like, the hell is this man on? That funeral got him whacked.
She said, "This man weird. Let me just follow orders, bro." And she just leaves with the calm. And again, if you guys read the Ahsoka novel, it comes out. The timeline's a year after the Order 66. So I think where she's on this farm, I can't remember if the farm. Cause I know she was somewhere hanging out. So it might have been the book, but it's been a long time since I read the book. So it's a year afterwards, and she goes to this like small little farming village thing where most people are very nice.
Except for one
freaking snitch.
There's always
like
one snitch. Always that one snitch.
Always that one.
Even when we're in the freaking other one, there's always a snitch.
Always a snitch. And it always comes to bite them in the butt after they snitch.
They're like, oh no, I didn't expect 2 people to die. Oh no, I didn't expect everyone in my village to die.
I'm like, no, duh. Do you read the news? Like, that's pretty much like, what are you doing? You heard the massacre of this whole religion that just happened like literally a year ago, and you're like, yeah, they're gonna be fine. Like, no.
He probably thought he was gonna get tons of cash.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's like, oh, I'm gonna get so much money.
Which I just thought about it. It gives so much depth to Obi-Wan because remember when that Jedi comes and he's like, Obi-Wan, you need to help me. He's like, no, just bury your thing in the desert and leave me alone. Like, I'm not going to help anyone.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka gets caught because she helps the person with the Force, like subtly, but she sees him and then the snitch overhears the conversation and then everything goes to fire.
Yeah, that is true. That's why everyone's like so nervous to help anyone. They're like, oh shit,
yeah,
I'm gonna get caught.
Yeah, like their instinct as Jedi are to help people, but then they realize that's going to make everybody against
until
us.
Right at the end, you're like, oh, I have to.
Yeah, and also shout out to your new boyfriend, the one with the mask.
My new boyfriend lasted 5 seconds.
she saw, like, before the show come up, they show that, like, the image title card, and you see the badass Inquisitor with this massive ass.
Why if so hot, why you kill him so quick? I mean, I want him to die because Ahsoka.
She just so you know, she loves people with masks and metal armor. She finds them very great.
Metal
cyborgs,
armor, anything of the sort.
She loves those. So when she saw that image, she's like, "That's my boyfriend. Grievous is dead."
They didn't even give him a name.
No, he didn't
even have a name.
I don't even know what Inquisitor number, because usually the Inquisitors have a number like the 5th brother, 6th sister. I don't know what
Tell
number.
Tell me, why did they make such a beautiful design character to kill them off that quick?
Ahsoka dispatches him.
His voice was so good. His mask, his everything, his aesthetic was so nice. Why did you guys put so much effort into a throwaway character?
Bro, you know what's funny too? When I saw the trailer, I actually thought he was a Sith Lord because he looked like those old classic like Sith in the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And I forgot, oh yeah, he met Justin Inquisitor. That's the baddest Inquisitor I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and then he's like...
Ahsoka's like... I'm like, damn, Ahsoka's a G.
Although, to be fair, I feel like the fight would have been longer if it wasn't like a 10-minute thing.
Honestly, yeah. And plus, it probably just showed how much more skilled Ahsoka is.
And Ahsoka is, as we know, a prodigy of beyond prodigies.
Yeah, like, so it was going to be easy.
That was fair.
Yeah, and her brother did mention something, too, because, again, if you read the books, she gets her white lightsaber crystals in Rebels. Again, watch Rebels. She has white lightsabers, and so if you don't know the lore, in order to make a lightsaber red, you have to put all your pain and anger in and bleed it. So that's what the Sith do. And the reason why they come white is when you purify one. So that Sith that she killed, she took his crystals and purified, and that's how she got her classic white sabers. Yeah, that we see.
So at least I know she got that from Hot Inquisitor.
From your Hot Inquisitor. So your Hot Inquisitor lives on in his purified crystals.
The saber.
So that episode gets a 10/10. It also gets 10/10. Challenge of the Jedi gets a 10 out of 10.
Yay!
D4. I'm loving Star Wars.
I love this so much. I freaking love this so much. I am so happy that it was that great.
Yeah, I'm so happy they released it all at once because a week would have drove me crazy. But since they were shorts, I'm glad they just released.
Bro, I've been like having a terrible week, and this just made it so much better. It like cured. It cured.
For Dave Filoni, if you ever hear this in the ether of the internet, I might just cut this part out just to post it, and I'm gonna title this "How Much We Love Dave Filoni." Hear me, Dave Filoni. I know you get this a lot. I love you. Danielle loves
We love you.
We in the Star Wars community, we freaking love you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, I want you to be on all projects. I know that you're only one person, but I appreciate that you just increase this fandom that we call Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and you make Star Wars awesome, and we love you. So I just want to shout you out like that. Like, I'm gonna separate this clip because you deserve your own clip, and I hope the internet spreads it around because we need to spread around as much love as possible as Ahsoka has taught us.
Your skill in writing is just amazing.
You're our inspiration, so I really appreciate it.
I know you put so much work into it, and we receive it. And we cry from your writing, man. You literally made us happy.
Please, you made us happy.
Keep doing what you do.
And you know what else? I hope we make you happy on the D4 channel, or if we don't make you happy, because, you know, for some reason, hatred sells. I really want to sell hatred, but I'm called Papa Sheep Popping on Twitch, so maybe I should start spraying hatred. If you hate me too, you give us the views the same way. You know, so talk about us in the comments below. Again, like and subscribe to our D4 channel, and again, our separate channel, the Beanie Moon channel, Hamtainment. Click our bells for notifications every time we upload a video. Please let us know, did you like Tales of the Jedi? I'm not gonna say if you didn't like it, because then you'll just be crazy.
If you didn't, you either did not watch anything or
you just don't like television. You don't like life.
Insane.
You don't like life. You're insane. You like the Joker. So tell us how much you love it. If you don't love it, get out of here. But
top comment, I hate it.
Pull up. We'll have discussions. But of course, I am your boy Hamid. That is Daniel Edward, and may the Force be with you always.